me, but I'm sure she'll be here,
Okay.
in a minute. Okay, hi guys. So we are recording. Tonight, I'm really excited for tonight because last week we kind of touched a little bit on the VIP chat groups or top contributor groups. I know some people reference them by different names. And Jesse and I thought it might be good to take a little bit of a deeper dive into those chats, how to run them, some options you have when doing them. And so we have 5 amazing leaders here tonight that are going to talk about their chats because everybody does stuff a little bit different, and it's going to be so amazing to hear from everyone. So we have Bethany Vargas. Say hi.
Hi. Hello.
We have Abby Hammonds. I'm looking for you. There you are down there.
Hello.
And then Jerica Guerrero.
Hi, guys.
And Andra Suffolk, right? Am I saying that? Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Perfect.
And then Bethany Hart, I think, is she here?
I hope she's not off with the time, remember?
So Bethany lived in the UK, guys. She just moved to Texas like last week. So I'm hoping she didn't get the times confused, but I sent her a note. So Bethany Hart will be joining us hopefully when she joins. Okay. So let me see. So we're gonna do this kind of like a panel with our 5 guests. I have a couple questions for them, and then we'll probably just kind of bounce between them and see what they have to share on the different topics. And then I do have a couple specific questions for some individuals just because of the things that they shared with me about their chat. So it had me thinking. So I guess let's just start with the easy one. What's everyone call their chat groups? Bethany, you wanna?
Yeah, mine's just VIP insiders. I just try to keep it short, sweet, simple. They already knew that they were insiders because that's how I classified like the people that got special emails from me. Just because I hated having to look at the top contributor little chart in Facebook, and the algorithm didn't always give me who I thought participated the most or bought the most. So I just labeled them insiders.
Okay. And then Jerica? Oh shoot, she's on mute.
Sorry. I was muting everybody. You might have to.
I got it. Yeah. Oh shoot.
Okay,
there we
good.
go.
Can
Yep.
you hear me? Okay, so my VIP page is Polished Warrior. So my chat is called Polished Warrior Top VIPs. And so super easy, and they know what it is. I actually really like what Bethany just said because I was looking over my top contributor list right now, and I knew this was going to be so beneficial because I agree. Like, I do not think that the way that the algorithm is run, that it's really tagging the top 10 who participate the most on my page. So that's very interesting that we started off by saying that. I like that insider comment on that.
Abby?
Mine is called MVPs of Baby Boss Nails. I didn't like the VIP thing because I call it my VIP group, so I didn't want them to be confused. So they are my MVPs. And I did not pick them from my top contributor list. Honestly, my top customers don't really engage in my VIP group. They just order. So I just picked mine from my VO order history and like who ordered every month. I started with them and then I picked like 10 of them. So I did not use that list either.
Okay. Angie?
I just call it my top VIP chat. I made it easy. And then for the most part, that is very interesting though, because yes, I do notice that top contributors, I end up like going past the top 10 because I'm like, no, I know that XYZ belongs in there. My husband is now home. Sorry. He was supposed to be here already. So yeah, top VIP chat, and I switched mine out monthly.
Okay, so how many about how many people do you have? We'll go into like we'll go into this twofold. I'm curious to know how many people you guys have in your chat groups in your chats, and then I'm also curious how you guys determine who gets in there, because a couple of you have mentioned the top contributor list. Now, I don't know for everyone in your VIP groups. I'm sure most of you know this. Some of you, this might be new information, but you can actually go into your group settings and look, and I guess it's under group activity or something like that, group insights, something like that. In your group settings, you can actually get a list of your top contributors. So I have in the past done kind of top contributor contests in the month just for prizes and stuff. So it's interesting that a couple of you on the panel have mentioned that you pull some of your members from that top contributor list, but maybe it's not reflecting your top contributors in the way that you're seeing them happen in your group these days, because Facebook is all wonky and stuff. So let's talk a little bit about how many people you guys have in your chats and how you pick and choose or decide to add these people into your chats. Like what is your rhyme and reason individually? We want to just go start with Bethany again?
Sure.
Hey guys, sorry, before Bethany hops in, sorry I'm late. I got stuck in traffic. I'm still in my car.
Oh, God.
That's
Be
okay.
careful.
There she is.
We're all
No,
messaging
You
I
did
didn't
know the
know
right
that.
time.
I told everyone, I said she just moved from London to Texas, so she might be all sorts of backwards. She's only been stateside like a week. So all right, I'm just gonna say Bethany V now, since we have two Bethanies. So we'll
Sorry.
start off with Bethany Vargas, if you want to share a little bit about numbers and what your process is.
Sure. So I have 26 people besides you and like one other stylist that are in there. But I have 26 customers that are in there. I actually converted my secret nail sale chat to my insider chat, and I just let them know, like, hey, you guys had such a great time with our secret nail sale, and you guys are always game for everything that I do. You guys are really supportive of me and my business. You tagged me in all the things that I asked you to tag me in. So we're just gonna switch this to an insider chat. Would you be game with that? And if they wanted to leave, they could leave. So I think I had 6 people leave who didn't want to be part of the insider chat, which is totally fine. I was not offended. Those are the people that like just wanted to shop a sale, so that's okay by me. But then what I did is I sent out an email with a jot form where they could actually tell me, any of my customers could then tell me if they wanted to be in it. And I personally messaged some top customers that were not in the secret nail sale group to begin with, if they wanted to be in the chat. And so I had about 8 more people join between those two things. So even though I lost 6, I gained 8 and bumped my numbers back up. So I was happy with that. But I also do post in my VIP group like once or twice a month, just the little picture of VIP insiders and, hey, do you want to join this chat where we do blah, blah, blah.
So you don't put a cap on your membership for that chat. So so aside from just people raising their hand and saying, yeah, I want to be a part of it, there's no other, like, let's just call it an exclusivity factor, sort of. Because I know, like, when we talked to Jerica, we'll get into that when she comes on, but she does a certain number of people. So you have no cap, it's no limit. It's just, if you raise your hand and you want to get in on this, then come on, join my chat.
Only because most of the people that are in the chat are my top customers and top contributors anyways. And a lot
Right.
of them contribute outside of my VIP group. So they're the ones that are taking my catalogs. They're the ones that are hosting parties. They're the ones that are tagging me on their personal pages. So my VIP group is not reading that as them contributing, right? So
Right, right,
I didn't want to exclude them just because they're not on my top 10 list. So I have not had a single person join the VIP insider chat that isn't already active in some way in my business. So
okay,
if it came to that, I probably would send them a personal message and just be like, hey, just want to remind you, like, there are some caveats here. Like, I do ask you to post or tag me once a month or whatever. Do you think that would be okay for you? Because that's on my jot form.
okay. Would you be willing to share that jot form with us so we
Sure.
can just take a look to see what kinds of questions, kind of what your vetting system, if you will, is for saying, okay, if you're gonna agree to X, Y, and Z, then you can come into this chat and get these special benefits.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Jerica, do you want to talk a little bit about your membership, how you determine membership, about how many people you have in your group and some of your process there?
Yes. So I always, as you mentioned, so I always have 20 people in my VIP chat. And I've always done it. I always started, I actually have my list. I was just working on it right now. So my top 10, my first 10 of my list are always the top 10 contributors. But like Andrea had said, I adjust that as well because some of my stylists are, boosting
Top
my
contrib-
page
right.
algorithm too. And so whenever I screenshot that, they're on there. For example, this month I'm getting it ready for August, like for my next month chat. One of my girls, I had added her to the chat last month and she left. And so I'm not going to add her this month because she left. And so I'll
Right.
just literally screenshot it and I'll crop them out and then I'll just combine the image to where it doesn't look cropped at all. But I do that as well for my stylist. I don't have my stylist in that top 10 graphic that I use. So those are always the top 10 from my contributor list. So I do adjust it because it's not always accurate per the top 10. But I also add the last 10 are sales. So the top sales. I like to have the top contributor list in that because I don't want it to always be sales driven. Like you're not going to be in my page or in my chat unless you buy from me. I don't want it to have that vibe. I want them to feel like they have a chance to get it even by boosting my page, my algorithm, sharing my content, whatever it may be. And so that's why I really like incorporating that top 10 contributor aspect to it. And then the last 10 are that consists of top sales, which a lot of the times they're in that top 10 already. And then if they host a party, that kind of stuff. So, or if things like I was almost thinking for this month, I actually have already added it. I'm like, everybody who bought a lipstick from me automatically in the top 10. So like I'll
Okay.
change up my perks to that 20, that group of 20 all the time, just to keep it fun. Now I do like to do the top 10 as well because it keeps them working my page. It keeps my algorithm up because they want to be in that top 10. And so it's kind of, they're meeting me halfway and I'm meeting them halfway and we're both, benefiting and making the page work. And I like to change it every month because of that alone, because it keeps it fun, enticing. It keeps them, I will admit, life got hard and I think I skipped like 1 month to the next and my chat died. I mean, they weren't excited. They weren't posting their GIFs. They weren't commenting like they used to. And so that following month, I'm like, nope, we got to cut. And they'll see my activity. I mean, they'll see Jerica's removing. Oh, it's the first of the month. Jerica removed all these people. Oh, she's bringing in all these people. And so it keeps them going. And then I'll share it with you, Meg. I didn't even think to do it before, but I always have like a saying that I put on there and it explains what the chat is if they've never been in the chat.
I have that actually
Yay!
from a while back because I've been taking notes on this for a while. So I was actually just reading it, what I had for you while you were talking, because you have some of your posts, and I will send these maybe back to you later tonight or tomorrow. And if this is okay with you, I can include some of your posts as an example when Jesse and I pass the resource out to our teams. Obviously, if that's cool with you, I can put your post examples on there. But I'm reading some of the things that I had picked up from Jerica, and she has this just an example of what she would put in her VIP group. Here's how it works: how to be in the top 20, only 20 in the chat. So and then she just has little bullet points of how you get to be a top 10 contributor, how you get to be a top 10 for hosting a party or sales wise, as she mentioned. So we can give you an example of those posts so that you guys can see what she actually puts into her VIP group. So that's interesting. Bethany is like, no cap. If you want in, just say yes, yes, yes to these 3 things I'm asking you to do. As long as you say yes, you're in. And Jerica's like, nope, this is the revolving door. You're in or you're out. And your chat, since how long have you had your chat, Jerica?
Oh man, a little over a year for sure.
What about you, Bethany?
I just looked at that too. 11 months.
Okay. So for you, Jerica, your chat at this point is in such a routine of seeing that changeover every month that it's like they don't even bat an eye anymore. Oops, hold on.
They're actually used to it. I mean, and they, once at first I was nervous, like at the beginning of the month, I'm like, are they going to find this as a negative spin on it? But whenever I post the new stuff and I tag them, I put it in the chat, but then I also tag that graphic on my page. And that's what you're talking about as well. So that way they're getting shouted out on the regular page so everybody can see it. But then they're also seeing like in the chat itself, the same content, the explanation of what it is, why they're there. One of the expectations that I have in there, obviously it's like be kind and stuff like that. But one of them is you have to be in this chat. Like I said, that one VIP left. But I put it on there. If you want to have the perks of this chat, because sometimes like I'll say, hey, everybody in this chat gets $5 Color Street Cash this month. It expires on the 31st. But I put in there the stipulation, you have to remain in the chat to honor the rewards or whatever that I'm, presenting to the chat. And so if they leave, then they're forfeiting that prize.
You're creating a give and a take relationship, like mutually beneficial. It's beneficial for you. It's beneficial for them. Okay, very good. So Andra, I know that you also have a chat very similar to Jerica's. There are a couple things I know that you do differently. Do you want to share a couple of those things? How many people you have and all of that?
Sure. I learned everything from Jerica. Let's just start there. She had to deal with 1,000 voice recordings because I had a chat kind of like Bethany's. I had a chat that was just people were just in there. It wasn't called anything. It was just a chat of regular customers.
Okay.
And I felt like they kept getting deals, but I wasn't getting anything in return. Besides, I was getting like sales, but I wanted boosts in my posts. So then when I talked to Jerica, I kind of combined both of their ideas and was like, okay, but mine is really the same. I do 20. I am looking at possibly expanding on if I have a whole bunch of sales one month or something. Like I know September is going to probably be a big month with Halloween, things like this. So I don't know, but right now it's been 20 and it's the same things that Jerica said. Like I do top contributor and I think it's like the give and the take, I want them to strive for that. One of the things that I do, if I have like because I want to talk about different stuff, not the same stuff. I do pretty much everything that Jerica said. I make the same post. I switch a couple things in there, like the same wording and stuff, but she really helped me like change my other one because I needed more interaction in my VIP. So I really pushed for top contributors. So I used to do like a top contributor, like I'd put it on the wheel and I would do like a free set. This way I just kind of say top contributor, you go in this chat and you get special deals. But when I do like a deal, like, and I make my graphic all cute, whatever, I make a double of it and I label it top VIP and I add whatever extra goodies it is. So then when I do my thank you posts, I put that little tiny graphic in the little corner, one, so I can personally remember what the heck I owe them. But also people are seeing that and I'll say, oh, Bertha.
Oh, she got that extra stuff? How come I didn't get the extra stuff? So you're
I-
creating this like
Mhm.
sense of
FOMO.
FOMO, this sense of, you know, you got this and she got this, but she also got this little
Yep.
extra kicker. So I really love that idea. I'm definitely going to make a note of that, and I'll pick your brain a little bit more when we talk about additional perks and stuff at the end. But
I also
guess
feel the people that you end up having in there, they know you so well. And
Right.
I make, like what Jerica said, like, you're not hurting anybody's feelings by removing them. I make it a joke.
Right.
Like I was like, oh, did you guys go comment on all the daily posts? Like,
because it's about to be
tomorrow.
Bootski time.
Yep. And then I'm like, maybe I'll see some of you, maybe I won't. And I make it a big joke and everybody laughs. And like, that's kind of what I do. I like make it really corny and stupid and then just lighthearted. And then when they come back, which is honestly almost most of them, I'm like, oh, hey, nice to see you. You know, long time to see. Kind of like a big dork. Yeah.
Now I do have a question. When you first started your chat, because we were saying how Bethany has her jot form and she has people basically say, you have to agree to XYZ to be here for the give and the take. You give me, and like I'll give you the discounts and things.
Mhm.
So you mentioned that you tweaked yours a little bit because you were finding that they were there for the deals and you were giving these deals, but you weren't getting necessarily anything back in return. Now, did you put stipulations on in the very beginning, or were you just, it was a brand new thing, you didn't really know what you were doing, you were learning as you were going, and then you had realized that, oops, I didn't put any stipulations here, so now everybody's scooping up the deals, but I'm not really getting anything in return. Is that kind of like
That's
where you landed with that?
And yeah, and I just felt like they weren't as like engaged because I didn't make it like I thought it was fun, but I just feel like they just kind of were just used to it and they didn't like, it wasn't a FOMO to check the chat and see what Andra posted because they've been in there for 5 months. Like it wasn't like a new thing. It wasn't exciting, even though, I mean, I thought it was very great, but I wasn't seeing the results of them. Sorry, the sun, we're going to get some funny shadows. I wasn't seeing the results of them also doing things. So, I mean, I did do a couple tweaks in like my thank you notes. I started asking like, hey, will you please post a picture when you get this, and things like that. And then like, I'll make like a comment like, hey, if you got your nail mail this week, make sure you post it. That'll get you in the top contributor, list, which will hopefully get you in the top VIP chat. So like I try to like now like plant seeds often about it. So people like are kind of like, wait, what's that? And I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Abby, I want to talk to you last just because of the differences of your chat. So Bethany Hart, can we jump to you and you could tell us a little bit about your numbers in your chat, how your process of adding or removing people or choosing who is in there and all of that?
So, I only have about 10 to 12 people and my chat is very small. But I kind of do it the way that Bethany Vargas does it. I don't really have a limit on mine. And I honestly just made a graphic that says Glam Life Insiders and said, who wants to be an insider? And I give them, like, for example, when we were able to buy the bundles, they got first pick on like which designs, like which colors they wanted, because I divided it up by solids, glitters, and designs and then I let them like pick that way. So they got first dibs on all of those. So when I posted it in my VIP group, I said, yeah, some of these are already X'd out because my insiders got first dibs. And so that always gets me a couple people that are like, what's the insiders and why am I not in it? And so that's kind of how I run it. So if there's a new release, I drop it in there first. And I drop it in there and kind of let them talk about it and give me some feedback on what they think about it. And it kind of lets me know how to move forward with showing them to my group. So it's kind of, I use it for sales, but I also use it as a little bit of insight because they're also some of my top
Right.
customers. So
Almost like a
if
guinea
if
pig
they if
tester group.
yeah. Yeah, so I go, this is what's launching. I haven't released it to my VIP group yet, but you can have the first look. What do you think? And I kind of get a feel for which ones they like the best to kind of start off with, to kind of like get things going and make people happy. And then I kind of trickle the rest through. But I know at least I know, okay, those are going to be the big ones in my group and which ones to kind of concentrate on. So mine's a newer VIP chat. I've only been doing my VIP chat for a little bit now. I want to say I've only been doing mine for about 6 months. I haven't
Okay.
even been doing mine a year yet. So I'm still kind of feeling out what I want it to be and
Okay.
and all of that moving forward. But right now, they're excited every time I throw anything in there. So as long as they stay excited and interactive, I'm not going to rock the boat too much, but
Okay.
but I'm getting some great ideas from you guys.
Okay. So you do the same type of thing as Bethany, which is basically raise your hand if you want to be part of this type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I try to create the FOMO with like, my insiders got first dibs and, so you get what's left over
Okay.
sort of deal. So, because my group is very much about the exclusive. They're about, they want the thing that nobody else can get. They want the retired sets. They want to be first. And so that rings true with them when I say like, somebody else got to do this before you did. And they're like, hey, wait a minute.
Right. I like competitive nature. That would be me. I'd be like, oh no, I'm going to be the top contributor forever.
Exactly.
Okay. So Abby, I think Abby, you're the only one on our panel tonight, which is why I'm really happy you're here. But Abby, I think, is the only one from our guests that does her VIP chat a little bit differently. And it's because hers is totally secret, if I'm not mistaken. It's just like, it's a complete secret. She doesn't advertise it. Her group doesn't know about it. She doesn't post about it. She doesn't ask if people want to be in it. It's just this really like top secret. I don't know what are those bars called where you need like the password to get in, those underground, you know what I'm talking? Oh, like a speakeasy where you need the special password or you have to know someone. It's like hers is super, super top secret. So I'm excited to hear from her because this is a lot different than the other 4 chat groups that we've heard about so far. So Abby, if you would grace us and talk a little about what you do with your group, your members, how you pick and choose and kind of your process, how you run that.
Yeah, so mine is a complete secret. I started mine it was definitely over a year ago. And so I just went through my virtual office and I went through the last 3 months of orders. And I kind of jotted down who ordered the most from me. Honestly, it had nothing to do with my VIP group on Facebook. It was literally who ordered the most from me over the last 3 months. And I picked like the top 10 to 12 of them and I threw them all in a chat. And I was like, hey, welcome to MVPs at Baby Boss Nails, blah, blah, blah. You're here because you are one of my top 10 customers. And I want this to be mine. I would say that mine is more of like a customer appreciation chat. So there is no way for anybody to raise their hand and get in. I don't remove people unless they completely stop ordering from me. I don't have any of my stylists in it. Well, I have one, but that's because she just signed up last month. I'm not going to remove her though, because I think that'd be rude.
Yeah.
But so that is how I started mine. And nobody left when I started it. So all 10 to 12 people stayed and have stayed for over a year. And my biggest orders come from my MVP chat. And that's also where my last recruit came from, was from my MVP chat, because I treat mine more of like a customer appreciation type thing. So
Okay.
they, kind of same as Bethany, they get the first looks at all of the new launches. Before I even mention a launch in my VIP, they will have already seen pictures of the launch. And then additionally, they have their own deals. So a lot of the times they will get, like for the fall launch, I just gave them a buy 3, get 2, and my regular VIP got nothing. I don't want to say got nothing, but it was a catalog launch. So I don't like to discount those two entirely much. But since it was my MVP chat, I gave them a buy 3, get 2. Sometimes I'll do like free shipping. Sometimes I'll do like a spin the wheel for my MVP chat only. So if you order before Friday, you can spin the wheel. Only you guys get this information. And a lot of them, I feel like that has urged them to order more, because it's a deal that is only available to them. And like I said, nobody has left the chat in over a year. But also, like I said, these people aren't people that really participate in my VIP group, mainly because we have such a close connection in the group chat. So these aren't going to be the people that are going to be on your top contributor list, but they are going to be the people that contribute to your PV the most, which is more important to me.
Okay.
I don't really care if you're on my top contributor list. I would rather see you in my back office. So I think that is what has kind of contributed to that. Like, there's this one lady who literally never places an order under $100, and she's in my MVP chat. And she usually does it when I run like a buy 3, get 2 in that chat.
Okay.
And I also don't have any requirements like, oh, you must comment on this, you must reply to me with this. It is very chill. And I think that's why nobody has left, because there's really like no rules. And it's been the same chat since I created it. I don't create a new one every month. I probably could go through and add some more people, which I might, but right now it's around the 10 to 12 number. And I think I have like 570 in my VIP. So it's a very small percentage of my group.
Okay. So I have 2 follow-up questions, and this is going to be for everyone. A lot of, well, 2 things. You've all mentioned perks, like insider perks. So I am curious for a couple examples of those things. Like Abby, you just mentioned your buy 3, get 2. Is there anything perk wise that any of you guys are doing in your chats that is maybe different than your VIP group, or just like super exclusive, like your VIP has never seen it, only this special exclusive chat has seen it before, or anything like that, or just perks in general that you can share with us, like some things that you're doing in there? Because my brain sometimes thinks, how am I going to keep these people engaged in my VIP chat? I mean, how much content am I going to be slamming them with? How often am I going to be, trying to engage them in this chat? I don't want to scare people off. I don't want people running. I don't want to overload them with deals all the time, but I do want them to feel like there's a reason I'm sticking around here. So are there, certain perks or things that you guys would share with us that you've done that have been just gotten really great feedback, or, was like wow factors from your group members, your chat members?
I do a monthly insider special that's just for them. I do include the graphic that I share with them in my customer email, but it's like at the bottom with the link to my insider jot form. So if they read all the way to the bottom of my customer email and they see, oh shoot, she's having an insider only special, I'm not even in there, let me see what that's about, and they can click the jot form. But I think my insider chat likes having just that monthly special, because it's not anything like thrown at them constantly. Like they just know that it's there. And I do remind them as the month goes on, especially if a lot of them haven't ordered or whatever. And I just switch it up every month. So for August, if they added any nail care to their order online, then they got something extra from me.
Okay.
So I think I was already doing something in my VIP where they got an extra set if they ordered something. And then if they ordered 50 or over, they got an entry into a book box. So the insider was still getting something even more, but it ran the entire month instead of my other deals, which usually only run like a weekend or a week or for
Like
that
a
long.
flash deal or
Right,
something.
right.
So they're basically, they're double dipping. They get their
Right.
that little boost of exclusive from being in the chat, but then they're also applicable to get in on all of the specials and deals you're doing in your VIP group, like a double dip.
Right. And I do, I think Andra mentioned it where she puts that graphic on the other graphic to say thank you. I also do
Right.
that because there's no way in heck I would remember what I'm supposed to be sending to who if I didn't do that.
Okay. I do have a follow-up question for you, Bethany, because you mentioned this to me before this evening. So, and you just mentioned it again. So I want to be clear for everyone listening. So Bethany mentioned that she has the link to her Jot form and a special in her customer email. I believe, and you can just correct me if any of this is not correct. So Bethany sends an email blast weekly to her customers, right? You send a weekly email always. And at the bottom of her email, because again, Bethany runs her chat basically saying, if you want in, raise your hand, just agree to XYZ and you're in. So what Bethany will do in her weekly customer email, she will put the link to her Jot form, and her Jot form is the requests that for people to say, hey, I want to fill this out because I want to be in your chat. So she'll put the Jot form at the bottom of her customer email, and with your special, you'll tell them what your chat special is.
So the graphic is there, but I don't
Okay.
put anything extra. Like it's a literally like a eye grabber, like just an attention grabber. Like if they like this, then right underneath that is the Jot form link. And it says like, click here to join our insider group, because the
Okay.
graphic always says insider special.
Okay.
So that's not the one
Is it
that usually
specific or
goes.
it just says insider special?
It shows what I would do.
Okay. Okay.
So they get like a sneak peek to what they would be getting, but that
Okay.
is only offered in the actual group. That deal is
So
only
you're trying to
offered-
bait them a little bit,
Exactly.
throw that bait out there, hook them in.
Because again, like Abby said too, a lot of my people that are my top customers, like my top buyers, don't
Mhm.
necessarily participate in my Facebook group. And I'm okay
Right.
with that. But I don't also want them to miss out on a deal. If they're already going to be buying a whole bunch of sets, I don't want them to miss out on something that I'm offering in my insider chat that they could also get tacked onto their stuff.
Right. Okay. Now does anybody else, panelists, my ladies, any other perks that you want to share, or things that you've done that you felt like, oh, that was a great idea, like when I had it, good for me, like that you do in your chats?
I know for me, I do the color cache.
Okay.
They love that. And then when I make my thank you graphic and then I tag their name, like I just did it recently. When I tag their name, I always say, like I mentioned, like way to use your $5 Color Street cache. So that way anybody who's on the page and sees that can question, like, well, how did they get that? How did they get to utilize that? And so that's like a perk that I just recently did. Another perk that I did, like depending on the time of year, like for Christmas, anybody who was in my VIP chat for December, like I sent them a family Christmas card with a little goodie. And so those 20 ladies, along with all my team, like my downline, they got my they got a Christmas gift for me. So then that way when they get, and then I promote like a way to get in that top 10 contributor, I promote post your nail mail, like post your stuff. So then when they they make their picture and they see like a Christmas gift, a family card, everybody else can see that and be like, well, how did they get that? And so that's always it, like how you said, hook them in, like entice them, like, well, I want that, everybody's FOMO, like I don't understand why I didn't get that. And so that kind of stuff, I always like to make sure that I mention it on my VIP so that way they can see it. But I mean, overloading them in the chat is a huge concern because we as stylists feel overloaded by the amount of stuff that they put out. And so I try to mention, like for September, for example, when I post tomorrow, my 20 girls, everybody that I'm going to have in there, I'm going to be sure to mention like, hey guys, this is going to be a busy month. We've got a lot to share. So that way they at least know they're going to get a lot this month. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to push them out the door either, because it does hurt my heart when they leave. But I get that sometimes, like you said, some of them just want to buy. They don't want the extra stuff. Like, I don't need all the extra. I'll still buy from you, but I don't like my phone going off so many times a day. And
that's
I get
me
it.
for other people. I'm just like, here, just take my money and leave me alone.
Exactly.
So I totally get when other people are like that, because I am the worst.
Yes.
I remember Abby mentioned this, but she had to dip off. But some of you guys mentioned, I think Andra, you said this also, that when you're looking for those, or maybe Bethany, when you're looking for those, because you have your top 10 contributors, and then you guys also go based off sales. So you go in your VO and you see about your customers, and you're adding those people to your chats. Now, I got to be honest, when you guys said that, I was like, your customers in the VO are in your VIP groups? Because I can't even, I do a lot of vendor events. So a lot of my customers, even in, that order a lot from me, they're not even in my VIP group. So is there like, do you guys experience that, or what are you using that as a way to get those customers into your VIP group or into your VIP chats? How do you? What's the deal?
I usually try and get them into my VIP group first, even if they're not going to participate. Just because that's where I do all my thank you posts. So if they order from me from an event, or they they write down their info, or they order online from like the random picker thing or whatever, then I send them an email thank you with a link straight to my VIP page. And that usually gets them every time.
I do the same.
It's always with my face. I always send a huge thank you with my face.
Okay. Angie, that's what you do as well.
Oh, I'm like, oh, I went to tag you in my VIP group. I noticed you weren't in there. Here's the link. Why don't you join?
Brilliant.
And I'm like, thank you again so much for this order. Can't wait to see your nail fee in my group. I don't know, whatever. Right. Can I go back to your other question too?
Yeah.
Like, to simplify, like, okay, if I do like a buy three, get two, okay? Like for my VIP group, in my VIP chat, I'll do a buy three, get three. And then,
okay.
So I'll like
just upping the ante a little bit.
Yep. And then another thing, because I have so many reoccurring people, I've like flat out just asked them, hey, here are your options. You get to pick your deal.
Okay.
So that I get some people that want free shipping. I give them free shipping. I get some people that want to spin the wheel that for goodies, and some people that just want 2 free sets. So I give them an option. And then the most recent one, I was just rushed. And I just asked, I was like, hey, what's your favorite deal? And like one of my best customers, Shelly, was like, buy 3, get 3. I was like, awesome. Hey, that's what you guys are going to do tomorrow, like for whatever launch. But so, I mean, like when you have that relationship with them, you can kind of bounce ideas off and try to spoil them.
Right.
Yeah. Create a poll in there.
Yeah.
And that's they like that too. Give them some options and then let them, vote on it, and let them choose what they, what they're going to get.
Right. Or like, this is the deal going on in my VIP group right now, which you're applicable for, but you also get the benefit advantage, other exclusive offer of picking between A, B, or C in addition to what everybody else is getting. So
Yep.
I really like that. That's really it's some
Double
smart
dipping.
stuff.
Like the fact they get to double dip is huge.
Right.
Meg, do you mind if I mention, I know you mentioned how some of your customers are, vendor events, whatever, that you
Mhm.
saw somebody randomly at the store, whatever it was. They're not all in your VIP, but maybe they got your card and they ordered directly from your link. One of the ways that I hook those people is I'll send, like Andra said, like a buy 3 get 2 free or whatever, and I'll send it in the email. I'll talk up this huge deal, like, my stocks, this is my stock, this is what I'm offering you, hurry, run fast. And then after that, I'll put, you must be a member of the Polish Warrior VIP to, have access to this offer. And then I'll post my link. That hooks whoever, because they want that sale. And then
Right.
that hooks them to, like, they're like, oh, okay, perfect, I'll join. They always join if I do something like that.
See, I'm always telling them, hey, this is my group, come join it over here. But seriously, it's like so many people I feel like I meet in person, that's not how they roll. They're like, I just want to go on your website, or let me come to your house now because you're my best friend. And I'm like,
Want to go to the mansion.
We don't let people in the palace, right?
The doors are locked. The gate is down.
Wendy will be by with her clipboard to clear them out.
I know.
It's my HOA lady, guys. If you've been on these Zooms with our teams for a while, you've heard me mention Wendy before, with the clipboard running around the neighborhood. All right, so I want to make sure I covered everything we wanted to cover here. Does anybody have questions for the ladies on our panel tonight? Did anything someone say? Did anybody feel like they wanted to talk a little bit about any particular area, or hear from somebody again, or
Real quick, can I just say, I put my email template in the chat.
Okay. For your jot form?
No, well, I already put that link, but I put my customer email, the one that I send out to people.
Oh, your weekly email.
So I put the template in there. I just select all and click copy, and then I click paste to my VO email. I don't have like Mad Mimi or MailChimp or anything like that. I don't have money for that. So I did put that there. You are free to copy and paste whatever you like out of there, but it does show you where I put my like graphic,
your big face,
my wording. No, like my insider, where they can click to fill out the jot form, like what.
Okay. Now, your email week over week, is that like, what are you putting in there?
It really depends. So the one that I just shared was from right before fall launch. So it had like my pre-order form. It had Shop Tuesday here, like huge and highlighted yellow. And then I put graphics of all the shades that were coming. And then I had the little blurb about the insiders and the link for the jot form. And then I had like the host a party. I put the Moonlight Swim graphic there and host a join graphic. And then I had like ready to join my team, let's chat, and they could join here.
Okay. I'm about to grab this jot form like immediately when we're done here and get that up in my group and just be like, who wants to come into this thing with me?
And it's just easy. You can change it however you want. And I was going to say, that's the beauty of like all of us being on here. You can do your chat however suits you and your customers. So like my customers and I were already pretty close. We already laugh about like everything in my VIP group. So it just kind of went into a smaller setting, a more intimate setting, and it just
Right.
made it more fun.
Right.
But I still have those stipulations because they were really already doing them. So if
Okay.
there's new people joining, I want to make sure they're doing the same things.
Right, that they're getting on board with the
But
program here.
everybody else's preference is based on how they run their VIP group. So you really can just conform it to how you run your VIP group or how you want your VIP group to be based on your chat. So it's really great to have everybody's ideas to either pick and choose what you want or to try all the things and see which one works best for you. It doesn't have to be a one size fits all, which is perfect.
Right, right. Anybody have any other questions or panelists, you awesome babes? Is there anything that you can add for us? Any little last tidbit of nuggets we can take home with us tonight?
I would just
Sorry, I'm
say
echoing.
start messy. Don't worry about doing it perfect. Don't worry about having all your rules and all your parameters and what am I going to offer and all of that. Just start messy. See how many people, like, no matter how you want to do it, get those people in there and then just let it do it. Let it go. Like, let it grow organically. Let it kind of see what they want. And don't be so quick to think you need to offer them a bunch of free stuff. I very rarely offer them anything special or different, which after this panel might change. But I very rarely offer them a bunch of different stuff. It's a lot. Most of what I offer them is just like, you get to see this first, which that doesn't cost you a dime.
Right.
So, I mean, don't feel like you need to give away this, like your whole paycheck to keep your VIP or to keep your VIP chat running.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And have fun. That's always, I mean, I think that's something I tell my girls a lot whenever I notice like a negative vibe going on, you know, like, or it's just like, I don't, you know how the chat can just go downhill real fast if one person starts, and I just try to remind them, like, listen, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So if you do it this, like how I'm doing it with the 20 people and that's too stressful, then don't do it that way because it's not for you. Change it and make it for you to where it's fun, because if you're not having fun, they're going to feel it. And be yourself in your chat. Be silly, be goofy. And they'll love you for that. Just same thing with the Christmas card. I mean, they're like my family. That's why I do that, you know? And so they feel that, and that's why they're still around, you know?
And can I add to that, like going exactly off of that, give yourself grace too, because I had to just mentally take August off because we had conference. It was my daughter's 4th birthday, like, and so I removed them all to do August. Well, I don't know if they all think that they just didn't get in. I didn't even tell them. And you know what? I'm going to make a post because I removed them and got everything ready for tomorrow. And it's just so funny. I'm like, I'm just going to be like, you know what? You guys, it's not that you didn't make it in. It was just, I needed a month off. And you know what? It's okay. Because that's the cool thing about doing it the way that you want to do it. You can do that, and just don't be hard on yourself. Because I was like, Jerica told me I need to do this and this, and I'm like, I just can't do it right now. I'm just overwhelmed, and so something had to give, and that's what it was, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. But I'm really real with all of them, like what you said, and they relate to you, and like they love my family, and they get what we're doing, and so they want to support you, like either way.
Yeah, I mean, so many, you know, they're not a lot, but I mean, when my girls message, you know, leaders and ask like, hey, can you post in my page for X, Y, and Z? I have this going on. And I'm like, yes, we can, but tell your VIPs that, because they want to hear that from you rather than us post, you know, generic posts from a stranger that they don't know. Be honest and say, hey, listen, this is what's going on in my life right now. I'm still here, but you know, and then do that in the same thing with your chat. I'm still here, but this is what's going on, and they respect you for it.
Yeah,
For sure.
Funny, Andra, you're like, oh, Jesse, you're like,
I'm like, I've never taken so much notes in my life.
I'm gonna rewatch this and
Yes.
pretty much probably just like transcribe it all so that we could just, here you go, guys. Here's your guide. Here's what everybody does. Pick what you like and don't use what you don't like.
Right. Who knew there were so
Well,
many ways to do the same idea?
Concept.
Right.
You need to tell people to try everything though. Like sometimes you don't know what you'll actually like. Like Andra was doing it one way and switched to a different way.
Mhm.
Sometimes people don't know what's best for them or their customers. Like my customers, 0 of them, sorry, all but 1 of the 26 don't like coffee, and I'm obsessed with coffee. So I have a really hard time being my complete self sometimes because I'm like, oh shoot, how are they going to respond to me drinking my 17th cup of coffee for the day? So I have
Wait,
to
I'm sorry. 25 of them do not drink
do
coffee.
not. Some drink coffee, but they don't like coffee. It's like a necessity, not an obsession, and I don't understand.
I know my
I
face
can't
is
relate
making
to
a
that.
face, but
I don't
I
drink
can't
coffee
relate.
or caffeine.
See, like I don't know how to like approach that. So I have to like really reframe my brain when I go into that chat and be like, okay, I need to post memes that have nothing to do with coffee. I don't have any of those. Let me go find something that they will connect with, because this chat is about my peeps, not about me. Versus on my
Oh
VIP
God.
group, I'm posting all about coffee because there's 300 people in there.
Because I'm in there and I'm also obsessed with coffee. So I'm like, bring on the coffee memes.
Yeah, and you don't have them because that's not what they're about. So
My
It's
VIP
just-
hates pink.
No.
And Bethany is all about like Bethany is like Miss Pink. So it's
I'm like the first thing I thought of it, and you let them be in your VIP.
Right.
yeah, like
I know.
your
not a deal
membership
breaker.
question was, what is your favorite color? If it's not pink, bye-bye.
They always give me crap because I always get so excited about the pink sets, and they're like, "We hate pink," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, you guys
Oh
all
yeah, I
hate pink."
forgot. All
See,
right,
I'm
well,
telling you,
if,
it's a whole different world.
if you guys, Jesse, you have a date at 9:30 with Facebook. Wait,
You're
you're
muted.
muted.
Muted. Oh, it can totally wait. This is gold. That's
So-
gonna be nonsense. So
Does anybody have any questions for our girls? And if you can't think of something now and you guys, anybody thinks of a question that maybe you want to ask just everyone in general, or you have a specific question for one of our panelists tonight, you can always shoot a note to Jesse or I, so that, or I'm sure they won't mind if you reach out to any of them personally. You girls wouldn't mind, right?
It's all good.
opening
Okay.
up the floodgates here.
Yeah, right. Ooh, I'm inviting DM sliding for all of you. So if you guys have questions, just let us know so we can talk about it a little bit more and we can get you some answers or connect you with our panelists and all of that jazz. Otherwise, I think it's been a great hour. I really loved hearing from all you guys. I can't thank you enough for your time. I know that especially Jerica, today was a little bit toughy for you, but I really appreciate you coming in and hopefully this was a little distraction for you. But all of you guys, I really appreciate you being here.
We
Thanks
love
for having
you.
Thank you
Sorry I
guys.
was late.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Gracias.
Mhm.